Welcome back everybody to my coverage of F1 2018 testing, day 3, week 2, or day 6 overall, the penultimate day of 2018 testing. One more to go, and then it's first practice for the Australian Grand Prix. So, like I said the last couple of days, it's really heating up now, the season fever, but we've still got 2 more days to cover of F1 testing. So let's just jump into it then. Sebastian Vettel was on top, 3rd time in testing. First time on the Hypersofts, but first time we've seen anyone in the 1:17s. It's an unofficial lap record, the fastest ever seen on the Circuit of Catalunya, Barcelona. Fantastic stuff from the Ferrari, who was over a second ahead of second place Kevin Magnussen in the Haas. Very good effort from them. Just before we go through all the times, I just want to quickly say I don't have a lot of time to do this today, and I do apologise. I'll quickly run through the main bits and bobs, and I'll have the footage in the back as normal. But what I'm probably going to do is get all the timings done, the main bits of news, and then I'll just leave the footage on in the background if I've got a bit of time left, because I don't want to leave you guys hanging today, and I'll try and cover as much of it as I possibly can. But it was the first time in testing we saw every team complete over 100 laps, and claps all round, you know, pat on back to every team. Fantastic job. No real big issues today like we've seen from McLaren. This week we saw a Ferrari fire, which was quite interesting, but Ferrari still managed to get the quickest lap, and Sebastian Vettel managed to get the most laps out of anyone, so good turnaround from them. Vandoorne bounced back today for McLaren, completing 151 laps. Good job from Vandoorne after McLaren's woeful week 2, and Max Verstappen completed 187 laps, one less than Sebastian Vettel, which is great for him actually, because he's been one of the drivers with very limited running. He's had awful luck, just like last season really, just continuing in testing in that Red Bull. So really solid day from all the drivers. The least amount of laps completed was Lance Stroll with 67, but he only did the afternoon session. Robert Kubica did 73, so still over 100 laps for Williams is a solid job. But then, like I said, that's all the big news of today's session, so let's move to the timings, the best bit really. I do enjoy the timings, but as I said, Vettel with a 1:17.1 on the Hypersofts was the fastest of the day. Magnussen though in second, although he is 1.1 seconds behind, he was on the Supersofts, 2 compounds harder the Supersoft is compared to the Hypersofts. Great job there from Kevin Magnussen, very impressed. Which Haas, I said last week, did not do a good job, so this is fantastic recovery from them. Third was Gasly with a 1:18.3. He was on the Hypersofts, but a very good job from Toro Rosso, 169 laps completed. They're looking very solid for the season. Fourth was Hulkenberg, another great job from Renault. This second week they've not looked as strong as last week. They were on the Hypersofts with a 1:18.6, but ahead of both Mercedes today, Red Bulls, Force India, both Williams, so good job in 4th from Hulkenberg. 5th was Sainz for Renault, who only had limited running himself, 69 laps with a 1:18.7, so only 1/10 slower than Hulkenberg, also on the Hypersofts, so very similar those two, and I think they're going to be very close in the standings come the end of the season. 6th was Vandoorne from McLaren with a 1:18.8, so very close with those Renaults. He was also on the Hypersofts and completed 151 laps, so again, solid from Stoffel Vandoorne, tripling their score almost for the second week. So, I mean, positive but negative at the same time. 7th was Ericsson for Sauber. Good job from Ericsson. That was actually beating out both Mercedes. Ericsson was on the Hypersofts and he was the second slowest runner on the Hypersofts, but Sergio Perez actually was the slowest out of all of them. Ericsson had a 1:19.2. Hamilton was 8th in the Mercedes with a 1:19.2 as well, but Hamilton was on the medium tyres, the same as Bottas, who was in 9th, also on the medium tyres with a 1:19.5. So Mercedes, a lot of sandbagging going on today, hiding their pace, but still very good laps on the medium tyres. Kubica back in the seat again, was 10th. He's had a lot of running, Robert Kubica, considering they're not planning on driving in this season. So I still stand by the fact that I think they're going to eye a move for Kubica halfway through the season. I think that could happen. That was on the Supersofts. Sergio Perez in 11th for Force India with a 1:19.6 on the Hypersofts. Come on, Force India, really need to kick into gear now. Ocon did well yesterday, but that was the only good day they'd had in testing so far. Force India, come on. everyone's loving your little underdog story that you've been doing the past few years, and it'd be great just to see a cheeky win somewhere. Baku was a great chance last year, didn't quite happen. Force India looked like they're going backwards this season, so fingers crossed for them that it goes well, but it's not looking great. Verstappen then, second most amount of laps completed of anyone in P12 with a 1:19.8. He was on the soft tyres and really was going for the long race runs compared to a real quick run, and Lance Stroll was the only driver to have his fastest lap on ultra softs and was the only driver to be in the 1-minute 20s, but did complete the least amount of laps of anyone with 67 laps. So a pretty uneventful day in testing, only one to go, and at the end of this week I'm going to do a video concluding the review of testing, where I think all the cars are. One of my subscribers said it'd be a great idea to review my predictions. I won't change them a lot, but I might say what I think of them, a little review. I'll go through the comments on that video as well. And I'm also going to do a Formula 2 testing review as well. That's been going on this week at the brand new, well, not really brand new, but the returning French Grand Prix Paul Ricard circuit. So really want to cover that. I haven't really had time to cover it in detail, do a video a day, but I thought at the end of the week I'll do a video for that. But that is testing day 7 out the way. Only one more to go. It's been a good session. It really has. But as I said, I haven't got a lot of time today, guys. But actually, looking at it, I've got it to the end of the footage. So that is fantastic. But guys, hopefully you have enjoyed. And I'll see you tomorrow for more F1 testing.